You're listening to the Radcast, a top 25 worldwide business podcast. If it's radical, we cover it. Here's your host, Ryan Alford.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the latest edition of the Radcast. It's Friday, February 17th, 2023. The post Super Bowl analysis.
Did you enjoy the Super Bowl? Did it end the way you wanted it to?
It was not a happy ending.
You a big Eagles fan?
At least the game. I was not an Eagles fan, but I did lose $50 bet. You never bet against Patrick Mahomes when the teams are fairly even, which they clearly were.
It was a good game.
It was a good game. You know, didn't like the penalty at the end.
I know.
Not
It
so
still
much-
feels kind of icky.
It probably was a penalty, but it was close enough
Talking about
that
the holding?
it was close enough that it's like, I'm not saying just let him play, but it's like kind of like just let him play. Like it's just such a, I don't know.
No, I hear that.
A little bit of a, and I think I'd have felt that way whether
Even
I had,
if it was the
if it was the other way
Chiefs,
around. It's like, that's all right. It wasn't so egregious, but what do you do? I thought it was a great game, enjoyable. We're going to talk about the Super Bowl commercials, but as a whole, as an ad guy, I just felt the ads were safe and boring.
Yeah,
more
it
than
all
anything
felt very
else.
underwhelming.
It was like, how many celebrities? I mean, look, y'all hear me preach all the time. Part of the playbook for me is borrowed interest. But man, it was just like, if I cram enough celebrities into the spot, can we make it interesting?
Right.
You know, is what it felt like with the limited story, good writing, just There was a few standouts, obviously.
Was it the Pepsi commercial with Ben Stiller about acting? I think that was one that I didn't mind with celebrities. But again, everything was just, like I said before we started, the Blue Moon commercial was my favorite.
Yeah, it was good. And
and the dog.
The dog was my favorite. I mean, I guess we can go straight at it. The dog food commercial. Here's the thing. The farmer's dog, it was storytelling at its best. Look, let's not kid ourselves. Babies and animals crush it in most TV spots, unless it's just stupid. But they told a story that was so true and so relevant to dog lovers.
Yeah.
You know, the history of the dog and that the reality of every dog owner wants their dog to live as long as possible.
Yeah.
And there's only so many variables that you control in making that happen.
Yep.
And so I think they're newer, dog food company, Farmer's Dog, develops a story of the life of the dog and how important it is, and thinking back through that and how to, feeding your dog great food and a different option, you can make your dog live long.
Yeah.
It's highly effective. I will be shocked if their sales don't go through the roof.
Right.
Because it told a story of why to buy, what to buy in a very clever way, and just great storytelling and great cinematography / just shooting and
it was
very
clear,
good.
but it was nostalgic without being sad. Because sometimes dog commercials get a little too kind of sticky,
it had a
gooey,
good
sad.
Soundtrack, good, perfect. It was very well.
Yeah.
I haven't looked up the agency, but bravo. Very good. They were the winner of the night. Then I did like Ben Affleck, in the drive-thru at Dunkin'.
Yeah.
He's known as, I think, being like one of their biggest fans, so he's kind of there. And, it's just kind of funny, that he's not afraid to make a little, especially coming off the Grammys where he was so annoyed to be there, clearly. Maybe drunk, I don't know.
Right. Who knows? Who's to say? Who's to say?
I will say this. I feel bad for Ben in a way. It's hard to say that because, multimillionaire, been very successful, married to a beautiful, successful, crazy businesswoman, Jennifer Lopez. But yet, when he's had struggles with alcohol, and it would really suck, I think, because look, I enjoy libations myself, whatever they're called. And, I've probably had moments in my life where maybe it was a little too much but
Sure.
but keeping it under control, but not being able to just ever drink socially or whatever because you have that ticking time bomb inside you. That would just suck.
Yeah.
You know? And
I completely agree with you.
it would just make certain things I would be bored out of my ass
bearable.
too. You know? And like,
right.
Yeah. So, because I mean, Jennifer's great, but let's be honest. You know, someone, whether they're a guy or a girl that's that hard driving, you know, can be a lot to handle.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, that's not even sexist. It's like,
no, that's anybody.
Anybody that's just that driven and doing things and like, at some point, like their personal life was not the priority, you know? And so I imagine figuring out whatever that balance looks like would come with its own learning curve. Yeah. So, anyway, but I did enjoy that. And her pulling up to the drive-thru was good. It was funny. I don't know. It was simple.
Yeah.
And it did use the celebrities, but I liked it. And
but
then,
it felt more relatable.
And then Breaking Good with the Breaking Bad guys, the popping corners, pop corners, whatever. I will definitely try pop corners now.
Right.
Probably just because the awareness and it sounds kind of good anyway. But definitely with awareness. So, but all in all.
Did you have a most disappointing commercial?
I just thought there were so many bad moments that have been boring. I'll be honest, like I ended up watching back most of them and some, you know, once I remembered what I was seeing, I just stopped watching. Like I turned it off. I didn't want just some of the overcooked stuff that just like jammed celebrities in the Squarespace thing with the
Clueless one.
Yeah.
With whatever her name is from Clueless. I thought was awful. It's interesting. I know there are a lot of conversations in like the comedy world about how hard it is to write full-length specials because everything's been done before. Yeah. And we understand joke structure in a new way. And so not only are you trying to write content, you're also trying to write structure. And it feels like this Super Bowl, like all of the advertisements were the same way, where we're so accustomed to what the structure of a good commercial is that now it's old. And so now you're trying to fill content on top of structure. And this time all of it fell flat. Yeah.
But Farmer's Dog stuck to a fairly simple formula, but shot and adapted very well. Right. So it can be done. Right. Well, take what you know and make it better. You know, you don't have to change everything in order for it to be successful. Yeah. So they got lazy and just jammed, you know, celebrities in there and you know, so we'll see how I want to see the sales like data attached to all of this like in a few months. I know we had some numbers, 51 ads shown. Yep. So 46 different advertisers. 8% ad increase from 22. And then it was up. Viewership was up. So like viewership when 100 and something million people watch, it does break down for the awareness that you get to actually not be a terrible deal. So like the reach and more the reach than the frequency because a lot of them are just run once. But if it is it's the greatest kind of spectacle for getting the most reach at one time for a mass product if you're selling something mass. So there's no denying that. But people are so distracted now. And I know we have some of the app data like app and you're looking at your other phone. Like I would have been leveraging the social media platforms running the ads there because, you know, people were just like, kind of paying attention, looking up, looking down, multi-screen. Totally. 7 million per 30-second spot. Which again, if you break it down by like how much a bag of popcorners might cost and how many people might buy it. And how many people watched. Right. It makes a lot of sense. And they were like last year, 36 million households. So not people, but like households. Televisions, right? Yeah, exactly. Had the game on. And this year, 37 million households, which again, you have no idea what people, like how many people were in those places, but that's a shit ton of people. Yeah. So we're gonna, you know, unofficially announce Farmer's Dog as the Ratty Award winner. Yep, there you go. Won the Ratty. I know they're really gonna be appreciative. We're gonna send them an award. Not really. We're just gonna maybe put it on social media. Delta 8 dog treats. The Ratties, you know. We'll create something fun for there you go. Social post, won't we, Nick? Tag them. Oh yeah. Yeah, of course, sure will. So a little bit of news this week. We did have some first-class women. I mean, I know, you know, we have first-class women in the studio so often. Look at that. You know, it's like, I'm just used to being around them. Making me blush. But yes, badass women, first-class women. They're whatever they are, they're amazing entrepreneurs in their own right. Heidi Montag, Tracy Dews, Heidi Cortez. We didn't want to leave out too many Heidis. Many of them are here. Cristina Ferrare and Raquel Pennington, the number 2 fighter in the world at UFC. So they're all on our board here. If you're watching the episode you've seen our wall of fame,
star-studded wall.
Star-studded wall. It's growing. And yes, we did a best of. We've had all these amazing first-class women on the show the last 12 to 18 months. And so wanted to aggregate, again, bringing you some of the best of these editions. There's just so much knowledge that gets told. I think it doesn't do justice to the guests or to the value that we can provide, like ways that we can repurpose some of these things to raise it back to the forefront. So they're just repeating a full episode. Let's pull out some of the nuggets that really people can get from this. Whether you're a woman, man, doesn't matter, because these women give some amazing advice in what they're doing, how they're getting ahead, and multiple ways to leverage all the best of business and social media. So again, check that out. That was this week. It released on Tuesday. Everywhere you listen or watch. YouTube, go watch the short edition, or Instagram. We've got the short form video with a 10-minute edition. And then you can watch the full episode on YouTube as well. Next week, pumped about this. This was fun. So Chip Leighton, the Leighton Show. You may or may not have heard of him. He's got about 500,000 followers on between Instagram and TikTok. I think he's got 400,000 followers. Very funny. Very like straight humor. Like he started he started on TikTok actually about 2 or 3 years ago. And he did these jokes about funny things that his teenagers and his wife says to him that are just kind of like ironic when you hear them. Like, it's funny. You need to go follow him.
It's going to be a fun episode.
It's fun. We talked about, his growth, and he's just so much like the deadpan guy, like, like kind of downplaying everything, but he's hilarious. And you definitely will enjoy kind of learning his story and just the power of social media. How someone,
so true,
from freaking Maine, he's actually in marketing executive and just living a normal life. And his daughter and him came up with like this idea for TikTok, and
went viral.
They went viral, and he's blown up there, and now he's growing more and more on Instagram. So you'll enjoy that story and might inspire you to continue to create content, and you never know what can go viral on social media. So check that out next week on Tuesday on all your favorite channels.
I will say I enjoyed the Super Bowl a little bit more because I did take a vacay while I was toward the end. Just tell me.
Just to mellow out, chill out the nerves from
I'm a big fan of those little things. And I could see, I don't think that I'm like addicted to them, but I definitely look forward to taking them.
It was a big hit at our Super Bowl party. We went away for the weekend.
Nice.
And now everybody's like, Ryan, are you bringing some Vaycay?
Oh yeah, Matt's like, are you bringing them over? And I'm like, I got you.
So, the party had fun. Let's just say that. Had a good time. I think, but people they get so surprised because you eat it and it takes a little while to digest.
Yeah, it takes like 30 minutes for me, and then
it's like kicks in. Yeah, and so it's very cool and a good way to relax. And hey, set a pound on a bunch of alcohol, take a vacay, and safer, right, more enjoyable, and probably better for you in the long term.
Right. And I know because like I definitely, as I've mentioned, have been such a snob to this kind of thing. I like knowing that I can trust this product and it's third-party lab tested. I'm not going to be laced with anything. And I just continue to, at first I was like, I have to do this for work purposes.
Forcing you into it.
And now
we're twisting your arm.
Right. Now I voluntarily partake.
Yes, so give them a shout out at Take a Vaycay. That's VAYCAY. TakeAVaycay.com. Sleep products, Delta 8 gummies, disposables, all kinds of things. Third-party lab tested, as Christina mentioned, and an all-around great company. Give them some love. Tell them the Radcast sent you. TakeAVaycay.com. Special shout out to our latest sponsor. You'll be hearing more about them. Good Ranchers actually joins the Radcast.
Very excited
as a
about
sponsor.
This one.
This is a meat delivery company. They ship right to your house some of the best meat products from Texas. Steaks, burgers, they even have chops and chicken, all kinds of stuff delivered straight to your house. And talking about quality, let me tell you, I've already had a sample, more to come, and we're going to be having fun with them. straight to your house, box, vacuum freezed, very good quality. Some of the best steaks I think I've ever had delivered for sure. And like the quality is right up there with like prime meat. And so very good. More to come, more specifics coming, but give them a shout out now. Get ahead of it before we start talking more. We're already making you even more hungry. We're going to have some samples in here like sizzling meat.
There you go. We'll have a Radcast grill out.
Yes.
I could know with that.
Good Ranchers, the latest sponsor of the Radcast. More to come on them.
Exciting.
Yes.
Well, I'd like to wish you a happy Random Acts of Kindness Day on this February 17th.
Still waiting on that. I haven't had any
I'm
done
not.
for
All
me or
of
to
mine
me.
haven't been random.
They've been purposeful acts.
Right. They've all been intentional.
Okay.
Right. Pre-planned.
Okay. All right.
Pre-planned.
Good. All right. I'll call your boyfriend and ask him how that's going.
His birthday's this weekend. He's none of them are random. It's all very planned.
All planned.
So many reservations.
Is he getting anything good?
I can't say it on the.
Okay. Okay.
But no, he's not a big gifts person. And I love giving gifts and whatnot. But so we've got, it's like a 2-weekend celebration. We've got dinner this weekend and friends coming to town next weekend. So it'll be good.
I think you'll enjoy the what's not.
Yeah.
February 18th, National Battery Day.
Listen, mark your calendars.
I tell you what, there's nothing worse than needing a battery that you run out of.
It's so true.
You never know.
It's so true.
There's so many things run on batteries these days. For real, I have kids at home, and Nash, sweet Nash, he'll be ready to play with like a toy that he's like been dying to play with, and he's like either new when he's opening or something. It's like, do we have any batteries? I'm like, I don't think we have those. Like some random C-squared battery or something.
Right, always,
like,
always.
God.
No,
and, and Nicole got me the battery thing.
My dad has one of those.
It was like an ad scene on TV.
Yes.
Well, battery. I haven't loaded it up yet though. I need to do that.
Again, it charges it for you, and you like put it on the side of things.
Well, it's like got a handle, and so you see this. It holds every type of battery, so you know what you have in stock and what you don't. Instead of the jammed in the drawer like we have now. Everyone has that battery drawer.
It's so humbling. Like when I lived alone, for the way I'm living in my apartment by myself, that was like one of the first things that I was like, shit, I have no batteries.
Yeah.
So now I have a ton.
Yeah. So they're starting to last longer, and hey, they're powering cars these days, right?
It's true. That is true.
The 20th World Day of Social Justice.
#SocialJusticeDay.
Yeah. I mean,
wow.
I don't really want to make fun of that because it's like, doesn't really make fun of. There's a lot of non-social, a lot of injustices happening. I think we can leave that. I like this one better.
Feels a little weird to have a day for it,
I know.
But whatever.
I think it should just be all the time, right?
One would think.
Can we just say that every day should be Social Justice Day?
Heard.
But I like this one better, especially talking about Farmer's Dog. Love Your Pet Day.
Love Your Pet Day, which also should be every day if you're a pet owner.
Yeah. I mean, don't beat them today. You got to love them.
I'll have a little post going out about Marshall.
Yes. Oh, I'm sure you do.
Little
Love
buddy.
Your Pet Day, February 20th. And then President's Day.
Bank holiday.
Yeah.
So if you're not celebrating, just know your checks won't go through till Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. Learn that the hard way.
Yeah.
President's Day. Great.
Yeah. My brother gets a long weekend, so I get to see him.
I know. Give him
right.
a holiday. The kids are out of school, so is Nicole.
There you go.
So that's
Long weekend.
not a bad thing.
Cheers.
There you have it.
On to some social media news. This is a great one. Again, Instagram just always cropping up. Instagram is killing live shopping starting next month and will focus on ads instead.
Yeah.
Big deal.
It's so funny. We're killing live shopping so we can focus on ads. Yeah, it's funny as a headline. We just want to serve you more content.
Right. We
ads.
want you to keep buying things. You just can't do it here.
Yeah, this thing is, there's so many mixed news articles on live streaming and live shopping.
Yeah.
Like it hasn't taken off as much as it has in Asia, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think there's a place for it potentially through just going live.
Right.
And not necessarily having to have the feature baked into the app. So I think you're still going to see usage of live shopping.
Commerce, yeah. E-commerce.
Live commerce. But TikTok did the same. My TikToks.
Tic-tac-toe.
Your TikToks did the same thing. They've all been scaling back on the actual integration within the app. But we'll see. I think for the right brands and the right companies, there's still an opportunity there. But, you know, I think Instagram has enough stuff jammed in it that, you know, we can all breathe easy if they want to remove one
My
feature.
question is, will this stay like in practice once scheduling software allows you the opportunity to like add the tap to shop? Because I feel like it's just kind of a pain in the ass to even deal with that, especially with bigger companies. So I wonder if once that is simplified, if this will come back.
Yeah, maybe.
It's just my 2 cents.
I don't know. Like, it's all about removing friction, right? Mm-hmm. How do you make it as easy as possible when you're posting content, scheduling content, using social media to link to the products and do things, right? And for consumers to buy quickly. Right. The Amazon effect. Right. 2 clicks and you're done. Or 1 click.
You get it in 2 days.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes. That's kind of annoying. Like, it's getting a little bit back to normal. Yeah. But like, didn't we pay for Prime to get 2-day shipping?
See, I've never had issues with it, but I don't feel like I order anything that's in high demand.
Yeah.
My watch took a minute, so I will say that.
Yeah, I don't know. It must be everything. We order a bunch of random stuff for the podcast and different electronics and stuff.
The electronics probably takes longer. That wouldn't surprise me.
It is.
Yeah, it always seems like you order something and it just doesn't get there on time.
Not
recently.
The way it used to.
Right. It used to be 2 days. You click 2 days, it's going to be here in 2 days.
And now it's like, sorry, your order's running a little late.
But sometimes I get stuff in 24 hours.
It's like, well, isn't that what we pay for Prime for? Because I don't watch any of the other bullshit that supposedly comes with Prime or all the extra bonus elements.
Sure.
Like, you know.
Sure. I hear that.
Because they throw in a bunch of stuff that's supposed to come with it. But it really was about getting that Prime order and the shipping in 2 days. Yep. Everything. Well, hasn't been everything for a while.
I feel like it'll get better, though. I feel like it has to.
Yep.
Or they'll lose memberships.
They have to change that name from Prime to something not Prime. I don't know.
Amazon Primitive.
Slow. I don't know.
Got some Google news, which is always fun when Google makes the news. Google is rolling out a new feature to make in-app browsers better on Androids.
Yes.
Do we think Androids will ever be iPhones?
No, but they had their chance with Droid and they fucked it up. True. But it's a whole nother story. We've talked about that before. But the reality is the UI is just so much cleaner on Apple. Yeah. And the integrations are better. I will say that I run into this issue where, you know, when you're using an app and you know there's like something that you have to click on to go to the browser. This is kind of an issue where it doesn't have the same things as your just regular mobile browser, like your passwords and different stuff. Like if you're trying to, like sometimes when you're in an app, it's like go to PayPal directly or something. It's like your password's not linked.
I hear you. Yeah.
There is some wonkiness there. So it's good that they're improving it. I imagine it's the same on Android because this is where the article's referring to. That as it is on iPhone because it's the same. But I mean, but do you use the Safari browser on your iPhone or do you use Chrome on your iPhone?
I use Safari.
Yeah.
But what I use the most is I have the Google app. I don't have Chrome, but I have like just the Google search engine. And that's probably my most used search. All right. That and Pinterest.
Nick, do you use the base Safari app?
It's a mix. Safari and Chrome. Okay. Those are my two top ones.
Yep. Do you use Chrome on your iPhone?
Yes, I do. I do.
Yeah. Did you change the base app to Chrome, like what it opens to?
No, I did not.
Yeah, see. Yeah. That's the little inside trick. You got to do that. So.
Yep, because Safari gets so
And
lost.
Safari gets a little weird. Like, it's okay. Safari is definitely the second best, but I find Chrome just works better with certain like web pages and stuff like that.
So much easier with work too. Like anything it's like I feel like I use Chrome for all of my business stuff and then Safari for all my personal stuff.
Yeah, it's easier to keep it all in the same G Suite.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. TikTok, back at it again, is reportedly developing a paywall feature and testing a revamped creator fund. This is very, very interesting with how they're trying to get their creatives paid. The paywalled video feature will allow creators to charge users for exclusive content.
This is the OnlyFans thing?
That was my first. That was my first thought because I have the mind of a 14-year-old boy. But I also think it's like you can do this on Instagram too, and I know a lot of like fitness instructors will come up with workout plans or different like groups, and you pay to be part of the workout group or whatever it may be. So that's kind of what I feel like this is stemming from. But you absolutely know there's going to be some kind of like OnlyFan element. Also, you can't really control what other people get off on. So you might not, it might not be your intention, but somebody out there is making the most of it, if you will.
Yeah, get their money's worth.
Right.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. At first I thought you meant like getting off the app, but like, no, you meant you're really getting off.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, that's what I meant. It could be both. I mean, like you do you.
Yeah.
Which is what you would be doing. And I'm going to stop talking. But anyway.
Yeah. Look, you're going to see more and more of this stuff. I just, just think, depending on what your content is, I guess if your content's valuable enough to get paid for it. And some people do have, and I'm talking about beyond the salacious stuff.
Yeah, right.
Try to get out of the gutter for a minute on this episode.
Sorry.
But I'm trying to think, like, what is content, like you personally?
Yeah.
Besides the OnlyFans stuff, what would you pay for personally that like on TikTok? Is there a creator that you follow that you would pay to watch?
Yeah, I follow some health and wellness type people who I would absolutely, like if they were, doctors in Greenville, I would pay to go see them. So if they had exclusive content that they were releasing for like, either a 6-week challenge or some kind of like food plan, I mean, that would be interesting to me.
Sure.
And even like with comedy, if there was a comedian that I had a lot of respect for and they released some kind of webinar, I could be convinced to, like if I knew I was going to get something out of it, if I knew I was like either my work was going to be seen, when you get into that kind of scammy, like what exactly am I paying for? That's where I struggle with.
Yeah.
But
yeah. And that's good feedback. I think I just don't have enough time. Like when I'm, especially on some of these platforms, I'm like thinking like in the moment if I would stop and pay for it, but there's probably something that I would, probably like an exercise or like something. Probably it's all personal interest. It's just, it'd be interesting how this takes off and how, how splintered these experiences get. So I'm scanning my content and it's like, well, you watch this video, like you got to pay, or it's like, oh, let me go to the paywall and go to my favorite person or whatever. Like,
and I wonder how it works for creatives if, like with the creation of content, how you organize that as the creative, like who gets the best work, how personalized is it? Are you then doubling the amount of content you have to make? Yeah,
or you don't want the regular content just to be an ad to get you over to the paywall content.
Right.
So I'm watching TikTok and it's just like, like it's about this, but if you really want to learn more about it, you got to go over to the paywall side.
Right, because we all hate feeling like we're being sold to.
Yeah.
But I'm also a firm believer in
they should get paid for
what they're worth,
Yeah.
Like
I agree with that.
I refuse to do, as of this year, I'm so tired of being offered like work for exposure and for experience. And I'm like, no, I know I'm good at what I do.
Yeah.
you're gonna have to
expose you.
You're gonna have to pay me for what I'm doing. So, but I think it's interesting. We'll see what happens with it.
Came full circle there.
Yeah. Always.
Yes.
Doesn't it always?
Speaking of full circle, back to the OG.
The OG.
Yes. Our official merchandise sponsor, Branded Bills. All our hats, hoodies, and beanies are from Branded Bills. And my most comfortable hoodie is definitely from Branded Bills.
The hoodies are the best.
Been wearing that thing. Been a little chilly around here. It's getting warmer now quickly, though, in South Carolina.
I'm so excited.
So nice. But
can't wait.
Official merch sponsor, go to brandedbills.com. You can use Radcast20. You get 20% off your entire order. They can also do custom orders like they've done with all of our Radcast stuff. Their design team's pretty great. They'll take your logo. They'll do some custom stuff with it using some of the patches and some of the techniques they do. Like they've done on some of our hats that have the custom logos kind of popping out in different ways. And so you need to go check them out. The official merchandise sponsor of the Radcast and always our favorite, Branded Bills, brandedbills.com.
Made in America. Can't forget.
Yes.
Most important. We've got one more article to talk about some marketing here. Coca-Cola debuts the transformation flavored soda in its latest limited time offer. They're collaborating with a Grammy Award winning singer, Rosalia, who I'm not super familiar with. But Coca-Cola, I feel like Coca-Cola and Oreo are always like, they have no chill when it comes to flavors. They're just like, how weird can we make this?
It's funny. It's a mood.
Yeah.
They're marketing a mood as a flavor. I'm kind of interested. I'm kind of like, I'm definitely going to try it. I tried the move, the other thing, I didn't really like that one. It was a little tutti frutti for me or something. I don't know. Like,
right. Didn't have the bite that Coke has.
Yeah. I needed a little bit more of that caramel flavor or something.
Yeah.
You know, but
that Coke Zero goodness.
Oh man.
Best stuff.
That Coke Zero cherry. Pretty good.
Crack cocaine. It's so good.
Pretty good. I got a funny story that's kind of related to this. So I take the boys, my two oldest, Hudson and Clayton. We've been doing a hot cake Fridays, which is we go to McDonald's before school. We've done it for literally like their entire lives.
So
like
good.
6 years.
I love it. I love it so much.
And the McDonald's we go to, we sit at it and we order online. They bring it to our table. They know who we are. Like we're celebrities at this place because we become so often.
There you go.
But anyway, we sit in there and it's related to Coke. I'm going to bring this full circle.
I'm ready.
So it's funny because, you know, they have their drive-through where most of their breakfast people are coming through the drive-through. And they have these buzzers and beeps that go off that obviously are like when timer has been taking too long and everything. So it's like beep, beep. It sounds like the hospital. And so our kind of running joke is when these beeps go from like DEFCON 1 to like DEFCON 5, like whatever. We're just like, we pretend that it's actually, we're at a hospital and we talk about how I need fries over here quickly, fast. He's going down in a hurry. Bring me the Coke. He needs Coke. Browns. So, you know, that they're feeding the patients, you know, McDonald's, but to save them because the beeps sound like it's a hospital.
That's a fun commercial.
So
there's
when
something
the beeps
there.
start picking up,
McDonald's.
which they do throughout our breakfast, it's always like
that sense of urgency.
I need 7 ketchup packets. Hurry!
It's like an episode of Grey's.
We're losing them. And so
they'll never come back.
Yeah, you know he needs 7 cc's of Coke right now. No, Diet Coke. He's
diabetic.
Diabetic. Anyway, it's fun.
It's good.
It'd be fun if it was filmed, I think. So
create that content.
I know. I think maybe McDonald's would sponsor Hot Cake Friday if you're listening to McDonald's.
There you go.
We've been serving you up for a long time. And then we create campaigns while we're there. I'm teaching them how to advertise, but it's like, you know, it's I'm loving it. It's on the wall.
Yeah.
And so we came up with an alter ego voice that just on everything is tasty. Just one word. Everything's
good.
And I'll say, you know, I'm like, how's that?
It's better than we have the meats.
How is that? How are those hotcakes? And my son will go, and he doesn't have the male voice. He's in 6th grade, but tasty, Dad. It's tasty. So
sweet.
Yeah, single word campaigns.
Love it.
That's the latest stuff. There you have it. Anyway, but I do love the Coke flavor stuff. It's fun. It makes you different. It makes you want to try it. You want to do it. I like the mood. I like the experimentation. Whether or not it's magical, like they say.
Right.
We'll see.
Right.
But it's fun.
To each their own.
To each their own. So there you have it. Any final words?
Nope, not this week.
It's coming down this short. We're on 28 days in February. We're in the 17th. 11 more days.
Spring's going to be here soon.
I know. Spring is sprung here. It's already like 60s.
Trying to. Yeah.
Trying to.
God, I'm ready.
We'll see it here in South Kakalaki, also known as South Carolina. Well, we appreciate everyone out there for making us a top 20 business and marketing podcast on Apple and Spotify and all across the world looking at the latest charts.
Yes.
Wherever you are, however you are, whenever you are, we appreciate you. Christina, Yasi, Nick Weaver, our producer. We'll see you next time. I'm Ryan Alford on the Radcast.
To listen or watch full episodes, visit us on the web at theradcast.com or follow us on social media at our Instagram account, the.rad.cast, or at Ryan Alford. Stay radical.